I don't care how good your technique is. If you lack intensity, aggression, speed in your moves, you will never be able to hit any of those techniques you're learning in an actual match. So I want to share with you how you guys can increase your intensity, your aggression, your speed, so that you can actually use all these moves you're learning here on the Iron Faith channel. The idea for this video actually came up when I was watching clips of Spencer Lee training. And you could see how tired he was, how hard he was working, how he was still, even though he was tired, exploding into his shots, exploding through his finishes, making sure that he's still having aggression and speed, no matter if he's in the beginning of a workout or if he's gassed, tired, and finishing out his workout. And you guys need to make sure you're doing the same thing. So after you warm up, you need to quickly move into a more intense drill. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is when it's your time to score the points, so your partner shot and took you down, now it's your time to hit the move your coach wants, or whether it's an open drill, hit your takedown. You need to treat it like you're going 100% live. Your partner may only be going 50% or giving you no resistance or giving you 80% resistance, but when it's your turn to score, you need to accelerate into those shots. Drive all the way to the finish. Not be lazy with your technique. If you want to hit these moves in live later or in a match scenario, you need to make sure you're hitting all your reps as if it was live. You need to be exploding through your finishes as well. What do I mean by that? If you shoot in on a double leg, even if you shoot in fast, you're not just pushing your head in and falling over to the mat. You're popping your hips through as aggressive as you can, slamming your partner's hips on the mat, and making sure that you finish that takedown. Some people, they go hard in, so they shoot in fast, and then they finish slow. And then I always see them in matches get on legs, but they can't finish the takedown. So make sure when you're drilling, you drill perfectly and you drill with some intensity behind your wrestling. So you explode into your shot, you pop through your finish, and you get the takedown. Now moving into live, you need to make sure when it's time for live, you're over aggressive. You are attacking. Now, this might not be how you wrestle in an actual match. You may be a little bit less offensive, but in practice, open up. Be aggressive, be offensive. And you should be increasing your intensity week after week. If I look at the way you trained a year ago, you should look more intense. You should be more offensive. Your aggression and your intensity should have increased. So not only should your technique be increasing over time, right? Not only should you be improving on all the details of your technique, but you need to make sure you are ramping up your intensity year after year after year, every practice, pushing yourself a little bit more. Now, this doesn't mean that every single practice you need to be going 120%. Some practices are a little lighter, some you're slowed down focusing on technique. But when it's time for live and you're in those specific practices where you're pushing the pace, you need to up the intensity. And I would say most of the time you're practicing at a higher intensity, and then some practices you're easing down and more focusing on the technique and slowing things down a little bit more. So that's my message for you guys. If you guys want to continue to improve, you can't just focus on improving the technique. You need to increase your intensity, train harder, train like the best guys are training. Go watch the Spencer Lee clip all the way through and start training like him. Even when you're tired, exploding through your finishes, not being lazy. Even when you're tired and live, not just riding the kid out, cutting him, getting another takedown, pushing the pace. So let's start increasing your guys' intensity. And if you're serious about improving your wrestling, make sure to join the Iron Faith Academy by clicking the link in the description or the first comment that's pinned.